perfect.
Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, home theater enthusiast and all-around tech lover, and as you can see, I have been busy. On this channel, we review and compare the tech that entertains you. So if you're new here and you're into that, then hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. Now 2019 will mark the start of an upgrade to my home theater, and as you can see, it's already in progress. So since 2016 I've had an LG OLED as my primary display. Now I reviewed many TVs over the years, but now it's time to take it up a notch. So I decided my home theater's next evolution will be a projector. Now I got the projector from Worldwide Stereo, which is an AV retailer, and I've included links in the description if you want to check it out yourself or even buy one. Now, of course, there are several popular ones on the market right now from Vava, Xiaomi, and Optima, but I chose to go with the LG HU85LA. Now, this video, like all my videos, will be in 4K HDR, so you can watch it in HDR on your newer iPhone or Android devices or your 4K HDR TVs. Now, some might wonder why I go from an OLED TV with its perfect black and infinite contrast to a projector which doesn't have that. But what the projector does have is a bigger, more cinematic experience. Now, of course, both of these display types have their pros and cons, but I think half of the fun right now will be finding out which pro outweighs the cons. So, hey, here we go. Wait, just 1 minute. Future me is excited, and understandably so, but it's not a matter of just replacing the TV with the projector. There's a process. Unlike a standard projector which is placed in the back of the room attached to the ceiling, an ultra short throw projector is placed in the front of the room under the screen. Typically, the bigger the screen is, then the lower the projector will have to sit on the stand. And since this stand is so high, then it probably won't work. So I'll likely need a new TV stand or projector stand. So this presents an interesting opportunity because I have very specific requirements for any stand that replaces this one, and in all my searching online I could not find one that met all those needs, so I think I'll just make one. So what are these requirements? Well, I also review speakers, so any stand I have will have to have space to accommodate either a small or a large center channel speaker. It'll also have to have shelving for my consoles and be open to have airflow for them like the current one I have right now. And it'll also have to look good, because that's important too, right? So let's get this thing started. Okay, so let's see what's in this box. First up is product registration. The LG Magic Remote, power cable, batteries. Whoa, this thing is heavy. That's it. The projector is powered by a 3-channel laser light source with a life up to 20,000 hours, as opposed to the more traditional 1-channel laser with a color wheel. It has TI's 0.66-inch TI DLP chip, which has over 4 million mirrors which can switch up to 9,000 times per second, which creates the final 4K non-native resolution. It's non-native at 2715 by 1527 pixels. It's very bright at 2700 ANSI lumens and has 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, with HDMI 1 having the audio return channel. It can produce up to a 120-inch screen and has support for HDR10 and hybrid log gamma HDR standards. It runs LG's WebOS operating system and has 2 5-watt speakers built in. It even has a built-in cable tuner, which is rare for a projector. It also has 2 USB-A and 1 USB-C ports. Alright, time to build that entertainment stand. Safety first, kids. The stand will be made from butcher blocks, which was intended for countertops. I got the wood from Home Depot, but we'll use it for this purpose because it will result in a very solid entertainment stand. Plus, I like the look of it. If you want to see a more in-depth video of the creation process, then I've left links in the description. So, this is the screen, or the box that the screen comes in. So, as you can see, it's pretty tall. I'm 6'4" and it's right up there, so it's like 6 feet tall. But the screen is only 100 inch in the box. So if you buy a bigger one, the box will be bigger accordingly. I hope you have the space, because you'll need some space to actually assemble it. Let's do that right now. The actual screen that you pair with the projector is just as important for picture quality, and in my case I'll be pairing it with a 100 inch 16:9 ambient light rejecting screen from Elite Screens. In the box you'll find the instruction manual, which contains a list of all the parts included, the pieces of the frame wrapped in 3 packages, protective gloves for handling the screen, a bag with screws, wall anchors and spring tensioners, a bag with all the springs, wall mounts as well as the brackets for joining the pieces of the frame together, and a giant bazooka. No, wait, that's actually the screen material itself. And lastly, the included LED backlighting kit. Straggler. If you want to see a more in-depth video on how to assemble the frame also, check out the link in the description. Now it's important to open it from here first to prevent yourself from getting cut, as they say in the instructions, because the edges are really sharp. So here's the frame hardware laid out in the manner in which you have to assemble it. First up, we'll use the black screws to secure the hardware together. And the coupling hardware is essentially inserted into the slots accordingly and then fastened with those black screws. After that, we do the same thing to the 4 corners. After you spread the protective fabric on the floor, then you can begin to unroll the screen. Then we place the frame on the back of the screen so we can begin to fasten them together with the springs. This is a 2-person job because you'll need to have equal tension on the opposing sides of the screen. Start in the middle, then work your way outward. After that, we do the same thing to the black outer frame, which acts as the border. Hold up, stop the music. This is not how you install the LED lighting strip in the corner of your screen, because doing this, I actually ended up breaking mine. You'd think I'd never done this before, but I got impatient and messed it up. More on that later. Alright, that's it, you can continue. Alright, now it's finally time to work on mounting this thing. So before I even made the stand, I did some rough calculations to get an idea of where the screen would likely be. And now that I have the projector on the stand, I can line up exactly where on the wall the screen needs to be. I marked the middle of the viewing area because that's where the middle of the screen should also be. And while doing that, I also had painter's tape on the wall to illustrate how wide the screen will be. So after doing all those calculations, I finally installed the wall mount and the screen, and then made the final adjustment to the projector positioning. Because of how I pasted the LEDs on the back of the screen in the corners, it resulted in some damage which made the LEDs unusable. So I'll have to get a new set to replace them. In my instructional video, I'll include the correct and incorrect way to install the LEDs so you'll learn from my mistake. So here we are on the flip side after spending the Christmas holidays assembling and creating to transform this home theater. So what are my initial impressions? Well, it's a big departure from the picture of the OLED TV, but I expected that. If I was supposed to compare the picture of the projector to that of a TV, then its closest analog would be an edge-lit TV. And unlike a full array local dimming TV, which the portions of the screen which are dark, which are black, could be absolutely black because the full array local dimming lights will turn off in those regions. On an edge-lit TV, the black areas will never be absolutely black, and it's the same thing for the projector. Again, you may already know this, but some of you may not, so it's worth saying. But what the projector has, which no TV has, at least not in a reasonable price range, is an absolutely giant picture. So it's almost like trading picture quality for a more cinematic experience, like I alluded to in the title, but I think it's actually more than that, especially with an ultra short throw projector. Now, this is the closest a projector has come to, say, a traditional TV, where in this case, if you have the proper screen and ambient light rejecting screen, you can actually have it in a room with ambient light coming in through your windows and not be affected as much. I mean, the picture will still be washed out to some degree, but it won't be as washed out as it would be with a traditional projector. Now, I'm sure there are some of you who find the current price of this projector absurd given that it's not a native 4K projector. But the only native 4K ultra short throw laser projector is from Sony, and that projector is definitely out of my price range. I think LG intends for this projector to land in the middle between the budget offerings from Vava and Xiaomi, for example, and the high-end offering from Sony. But the question is it worth the price? But I think there's a lot more discussions to be had and a lot more tests to be done with ultra short throw laser projectors, this one in particular, since, you know, I have it. And that being the case, I'll be doing some testing like input latency testing, gaming testing, a picture testing including tone mapping, as well as the full review. So if you're interested in that and you still haven't subscribed yet, then I don't know, man, I don't know. Check out the merch store where you can get any of the t-shirts that you've seen me wear in the video, including this one. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it or found it entertaining and or useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood Villaman saying peace. And now we present a dramatic reading of the included product warning. When moving the projector, be sure to turn off the power switch and disconnect the power plug, antenna cable, and connection cord between the devices. Failure to do so may cause damage to the projector or the cord, resulting in a fire or electric shock.